I don't think Lightning McQueen actually retired from racing at the end of Cars 3. Of course, it may seem like he's already chosen to be the crew chief of Cruz Ramirez. I get this idea seems like an uphill battle because we've seen him struggle against the next-gen racers. And I understand that he has already won 7 Piston Cups. Lightning has already proven himself to be a champion, and it might seem like he's already made his choice on the direction of his career. But I think there are signs in the books and series that have come out after Cars 3 that give me hope that he's got a few more races left in him. And today I want to explain why. Now, the idea that Lightning McQueen might have not retired from racing actually comes from the Essential Guide to Cars 3. You see, we're given the transcript of an interview with Lightning and Cruz, which took place just after Cruz's win at the Florida 500. Fun fact, it was actually conducted by Shannon Spokes, the same Racing Sports Network reporter who often interviewed Lightning, Cal, and Bobby at the beginning of Cars 3. Now, in this conversation, Spokes inquired directly about whether or not Lightning was planning to retire from racing, and he responded to the gossip by stating, "For now, I'm loving the new challenge of being Cruz's crew chief this season." But what is even more interesting is what Cruz states after Lightning. You see, Cruz explained, "For now, we're on the same side, but perhaps we'll be racing rivals next season." Now, I know that Lightning won't be able to race forever. The Art of Cars 3 explained that in Jackson Storm's rookie season, Lightning experienced more consecutive losses than he had ever had in his entire career. He's absolutely behind the times when it comes to raw speed, aerodynamics, and technology. But when Rusty's fell under the control of Mr. Sterling, Lightning's retirement was almost forced upon him, and that's no way for a legend's career to end. When Lightning believed he only had one opportunity to do right by Cruz, it made sense that he would give up his spot to give her a chance to become a racer. And he even went so far as to take the year to secure her place in the racing world. But now that Cruz is a veteran and they're both under the protection of Tex and Team Dynaco, maybe Lightning will be given the chance to go out on his own terms. Now, of course, this is just from a companion book to the film that might just be leaving the possibilities of a sequel open for the future. But the idea of Lightning returning to racing actually is supported in the follow-up to Cars 3, Cars on the Road. You see, when Lightning became a crew chief, he adopted Doc's colors, logos, design, and the title, The Fabulous Lightning McQueen. And that decision seemed to symbolize Lightning's journey from cocky rookie to honorable legend had been completed. In the credits of Cars 3, we even get to see photos that show that Lightning kept that homage to his mentor throughout the rest of Cruz's season. But in Cars on the Road, when we catch up with Lightning after Cruz's season is over, he's returned to his iconic red paint job, complete with the sponsors across his body. Now, of course, this doesn't inherently mean that he's completely quit on Cruz or his career as a crew chief. I mean, we saw Strip the King Weathers with his racing color, number, and sponsors when he was the crew chief for his nephew Cal. But what I think is different about that situation is that the King's Dynaco blue is synonymous with him. The King was Dynaco's champion for years, and he never transitioned away from it. But Lightning didn't make that choice. When McQueen became a crew chief, he emulated his mentor's look to embrace that new role. So the fact that he's reverted back to his classic Lightning McQueen racing iconography could symbolize that he's also decided to return to the racing world. But what I think actually solidifies the idea that Lightning will be a racer again is based on how he's spending the offseason. You see, when we reconnect with Lightning again in Cars on the Road, he seems to be racing around Willys Butte like he did when he was at the peak of his training. But it's important to note that he's not doing this with Cruz. In fact, in Cars on the Road, when Lightning and Cruz connect at Mater's sister's wedding, it seems like Lightning talks to her as if they no longer have that crew chief and racer relationship anymore.
Mr. McQueen!
Cruz! You don't have to call me Mr. McQueen. We're both racers now.
Of course, Lightning might be saying that they're both racers because he just wants to show Cruz that they are equals, but it doesn't seem like that's the case since it's made clear that they aren't working together in the offseason. You see, Lightning doesn't know what she's been up to since the season ended, and it turns out she's done a lot. Since they last saw each other, Cruz has opened a racing academy, she started a charity, and she's learning French. But when is she training? I mean, if Lightning was her crew chief, wouldn't he want to be involved in her training in the offseason? Wouldn't they be keeping in touch to ensure she could be in the best position to win a Piston Cup? Of course, Cruz is an athlete, so she needs time to rest and reset. I do not think she should be racing all year long, but she is an athlete in an extremely competitive, high-octane sport. And with Jackson Storm and the rest of the next-gen racers coming for her, it seems like Team Dynaco and Lightning would want to prepare her for the season to come, but they're not. And maybe the reason why is because Lightning wants to race for one more season. I mean, we've seen Lightning give up his victory for a legend. We've seen him risk his life to do right by his best friend. And we've seen him support the next generation of racers. But personally, if Cars 4 ever moves forward, I hope in Lightning's last season, we'll finally get to see him win a Piston Cup on the big screen. As a great race car once said, I think the king should finish his last race. Now, if you'd like to see my explanation on why I believe Lightning couldn't beat Jackson Storm originally, you can find my video on that topic below, and consider subscribing for more Cars videos like this one. Finally, I'm Isaac Carlson, thanks for watching, and have a magical day.